And the air quality across Portland and Vancouver has been pretty intense lately due to all the wildfire smoke. And if you're like a lot of people and you're stuck inside, or you've got asthma or a vulnerable person at home, I'm going to show you a few things you can do to help mitigate some of this wildfire smoke so that you're not breathing it in, because they say breathing in this air at this air quality index level is the equivalent to smoking 8 or 9 cigarettes a day. So let me show you a few things you can do to help mitigate some of that. We actually got to see the wildfires firsthand on our trip to Boise, and we even have people in our family who were on level 3 evacuation notices in Central Oregon. And I just wanted to say that our thoughts and prayers are with anybody affected by or fighting these raging infernos. And thank you to all the firefighters who were stepped up and fought these things. So the very first thing that we're going to do is make sure that your windows and doors have proper weather stripping so that stuff is not getting in. Now this also includes skylights if you have them as well. You're just going to make sure all the caulking, all the weather stripping is solid. There's not anything getting in, no leaks, nothing like that. And this is kind of what I'm talking about for the doors. You can do things like this on the bottom where you're making sure nothing's getting in. A cheap draft stopper like this, or even a wet rolled up towel underneath exterior doors, can block a surprising amount of smoke. You want to cover the gaps that you can't seal with either painter's tape or some kind of plastic sheeting over the window frames that don't close tightly, especially older single pane windows. You're also going to want to check exterior doors. Make sure you don't see any cracks or light coming through. If you do see cracks or daylight coming in, that means air is getting in, and you should get that sealed up as soon as you can. Okay, here's one that people almost always forget, and that is to close your fireplace flue. Now, I'm not actually going to do it because this one's already closed, but if it's over here and it's open, you're going to yank it over, and you're going to have to pull pretty hard. And if you do it correctly, you're going to hear a loud clunk, and that does mean that it is now closed, and you'll notice a big difference between heat and smoke coming in through that chimney. Even when you're not using your fireplace, if that flue is open, it's basically a straight shot for smoke and air to get pulled right into your house. It also helps with the heat. So if you don't want heat coming into your house during the summertime, that flue being closed also helps with that. And if you can, switch your HVAC to recirculate mode instead of pulling air in from the outside. That usually involves something like putting the fan on auto, and that can help not bring in that dirty air from the outside and instead recirculate the air that's already inside your home. Okay, here's another tip that really comes in handy. If you have an air purifier with a HEPA filter, run that in whatever room you spend the most time in. It can make a huge difference in the bedroom at night when you're trying to sleep, especially if you have something like asthma. I know during the 2020, 2021 wildfire season, I had a Dyson air purifier. I cannot attest to any other brand. I'm a big Dyson fan. So I know that thing, if you put it on auto, when it detects wildfire smoke, it'll work overtime, and really you can tell when you take that filter out that it was really working. So that helps a lot. Now, if you don't have an air purifier, don't worry. You can actually make your own at-home DIY style for fairly cheap. All you're gonna do is get one of these HVAC HEPA filters and tape it to a box fan. I know it sounds simple, but it actually works surprisingly well. Now, maybe if you can somehow monitor the air quality in your home to make sure it's working effectively. I know friends who have done it and they say it actually works surprisingly well. And that brings me to my next point. You should spring for the best air filter that your HVAC system can handle. Ideally, you want a MERV rating of 13 or higher, and that will really help with fine particulates like smoke. Okay, this is the last one. Watch indoor particulates. Skip anything that adds more particulates indoors while it's bad out. Maybe skip vacuuming, lighting candles, cooking on the stove. I hope this video finds you well. I hope you've found this video and these tips helpful. And also don't forget, we do have the new neighborhood quiz up. If you want to see what neighborhood might be a best fit for you in Southwest Washington, I'll leave a link down in the description. As always, stay safe, check on your neighbors, or do whatever feels natural to you. Until next time.